Jay-Z is trying to make a comeback, and he did this little interview for it. And I just saw this on the timeline, and I'm interested, so we finna check this out together. Video by Poetic Flacco. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Jay-Z attempts a comeback. He schedules this interview with GQ. That was a scripted interview. They knew the questions beforehand. He answers the questions on cue. But the purpose of this interview was to convince us that him and Roc Nation aren't as terrible and evil as the world is making it out to seem. I think at some point during this interview, he did say they're going on the offense this year and not the defense, meaning they're going to be proactive in trying to deconstruct the narratives instead of letting the narratives fester and then have to send copyright strikes and go after independent small creators who are just doing their job by reporting on the treachery of Roc.
Y'all still listening to Jay-Z? I'm not really listening to him that much. Got love for him. He's a great artist, but I'm not really listening to him that much.
Roc Nation.
And the truth is, at the end of the day, it still reigns supreme.
When you're feeling these feelings, how do you then bounce back and get back to being Jay-Z?
I don't know. This is the first thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
Actually, it was just like, all right, man, we played enough defense. 2026 is all offense.
Politicians perfected this skill, but the upper echelon of celebrities have also taken on this skill, which is making a scripted interaction look like it's genuine. If you watch this interview with an untrained eye, you would probably think, oh, this is just a genuine conversation. They're just going with the flow. No, this conversation was scripted from stop to start. Like, for God's
I can't even lie. It's kind of funny that he said that because this was something I was talking about with my people earlier. Politicians, they do know how to do that. And even though Flacco is a start to stop, but they do know how to just completely script an entire conversation and then make it seem like it was just genuine, like it was just on the fly, like two people talking, but it was all scripted. It was all, the script was read over by editors or, their form of PR or whatever they call it and things like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if Jay-Z was on this. I mean, he's in the billionaire category now. We know how most of the billionaires act nowadays. So I wouldn't be surprised. So I'm curious. I'm sorry, that was just funny. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. So I'm eager to hear this because I'm wondering what kind of comeback Jay-Z is trying to make at this point. Like at this point, if I was Jay-Z, I wouldn't even try to be rapping no more. I'd be just on the other stuff. But let's see.
They had a 60-year-old wearing grills and an almost 40-year-old dressed like Miles Morales. Whoever was like the producers or the script writers for this interview, they thought, how can we make this feel authentic? Jay, wear some grills. Let the people know you're for the culture. Hey, you 40, dress up like Miles Morales. They even told bro, hey man, put the hat towards the back. Yeah, wear the hat like this. Man, whoever dressed, bro, he dressed like how people think black people dress, right? From start to finish. It's just a fact, bro. I remember at some point during this interview, like he asked Jay-Z, man, how do it feel to be a universal soldier, a warrior for the culture? And you have people blaming you for being a capitalist. I said, what's the question? Hey, bro, how do it feel to be so great? Like what? Nobody has ever in life said, Jay-Z, you're just too good of a capitalist. Cut it out, man. But this is one of those scripted questions that he requested to be asked. He requested they call him a universal soldier. I said, this is just absolute malarkey, but it ultimately backfired. The PR he was looking for, he didn't get it.
Sticking with a written testimony, you have a couple of verses on there that I really like because they kind of speak to what's going on with you in a broader sense in the culture, like on Universal Soldier, I think it is, when you said that you don't keep the same energy for the DuPonts and the Carnegies.
Yeah.
So I wanted you to talk a little bit about this idea of like you said earlier, like the things that you do for the culture, the ways that you put on, the ways that you try to protect and move forward, but kind of the pushback that you get sometimes about like people throw capitalists at you in a derogatory sense.
Yeah, I think in that verse specifically, the only thing
Jay-Z is definitely a capitalist. He's definitely a capitalist. There's no doubt about it. I feel like, and you know, I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, then let me know. Let me know your thoughts. But if you enter the point of billionaire status, you a capitalist. That's like the only way to make it to that point.
heard coming up was the American dream until we started being successful. And it was like, wait a minute, you're selling out because you're making money. That was the first thing that was put on musicians. People had this law for the struggling artists. That's a mind game, what we would call back in the day for tricknology. It was like, no, I'm not going for that. Like, no, I make art first. And then I make sure that I'm compensated for my art. I didn't take advantage. I didn't get here by taking advantage of people. I didn't take it. No one. That's not my reputation. That's not what I do. I didn't get here by taking advantage of people or taking advantage of, the loopholes in the system or some wrinkle in like a capitalist structure. That structure exists, and I just see the world for what it is, not for what I want it to be. I'm a realist, not an ideal. It's not idealistic.
Have you ever heard anybody say, "Oh man, Jay-Z, you monetize your art too well"? How dare you make those albums and sell the way you sell? Man, cut it out, bruh. Nobody in the history of life have ever said that. You've never heard anybody say it. You've never heard anybody say that ever in life. But what people have said when they call Jay-Z a sellout, I can go down the laundry list if you want me to. Right? I would have asked, hold on, bruh. Did you tell Jermaine Dupri not to work with the NFL when they approached him to do the halftime show? Didn't you tell him not to work with the NFL because we was boycotting the NFL? Just for you to take the Super Bowl job and start working with the NFL and then tell black folks, we done protesting, we done blackballing the NFL. What's next? After you got hired, after they gave you a check, after they gave you again, the NFL paid Jay-Z to be a cultural regulator. Jay-Z was that one black person they had on the plantation to watch out for any escape plans. Black folks was protesting. We was done with the NFL. They gave Jay-Z a check to tell us to stop boycotting.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That is the capitalist mentality. And what they do is they say one thing and tell everybody to stop going for the cause. But then as soon as the people that the cause is going against, as soon as they say, hey, we'll give you this bag, we'll give you this check, then they go and do it. And then after they do it, they go right back to, oh, hey, we're not doing that. Like, it happened every time. Like, I know I'm getting passionate about it, but I'm tired of seeing it at this point. I'm tired of seeing that behavior every time on all sides.
After he got hired by the NFL to make them look good, Roc Nation called up TMZ to run a bad story on Colin Kaepernick. This is why we call Jay-Z a sellout, for doing things like this.
It was Nessa, and she was talking about Nicki Minaj's claims about a smear job that Jay-Z had against Colin Kaepernick. But I know for sure, that Roc Nation was seeding negative stories about Colin Kaepernick during the time that he was really in traction with Jay-Z. For sure. I've told this story before, I'll tell it again. This is another story where I give Harvey a ton of credit, right? So I'm at my desk one time. This is after the Roc Nation NFL deal has been announced. And give Harvey more credit than just with how he played this. I'll give him credit for the fact that he goes, hey, I just got this information on the phone. I know who was on the other end of the phone. I know who Harvey's Roc Nation contact is, right? I just got this information on the phone. And all of these things about Colin Kaepernick is what I just got told, right? He comes over to me and he tells me all of these things. And it was the whole Colin Kaepernick doesn't really want to play narrative. Like Colin Kaepernick didn't go to this training, or he sabotaged himself this way or whatever. Actually, it was the same thing that people had started to hear on First Take. And it was a narrative that was getting around because either it was coming from what I thought at first is that either it was coming from players that had played with him or people that knew things. I don't know, but I had heard it before, right? And Harvey comes over to me and he says all of this stuff. And he's like, yeah, did you know that he actually doesn't really want to play? And I looked at Harvey and I said, look, I don't think that we here at TMZ should be getting in the middle of what's going on between Colin Kaepernick and Jay-Z.
The really dense Jay-Z defenders and Rock Nation cult members will say, Rock Nation called, not Jay-Z. Right? Jay-Z owns Rock Nation, right? When Rock Nation calls, they're calling on behalf of Jay-Z. And it's no coincidence that Jay-Z signs up to the NFL. Colin Kaepernick criticized Jay-Z for working with the NFL and telling black folks to stop boycotting. And then Jay-Z and Rock Nation began to tell people, hey, y'all shouldn't be boycotting. Colin Kaepernick don't really want to work with the NFL. He don't really want a job with the NFL. Huh? That's why people call you a sellout. It's not because you're a capitalist, bruh. Right? It's because you a snake. And you'll be doing some selling out and bootlicking. This is what you're known for. Now, I ain't got nothing personal with Jay. But, I don't know. It's maybe because I'm in media, man. I just value genuine interaction. And when I'm seeing a clear, scripted interview being passed off as like a genuine, man, it's like, all right, bro. Like, come on, man. Even like the following stuff, like when he's asked about Drake and Kendrick and this battle and this beef, what he says is probably just as absurd as his capitalist statement.
I have no idea. Okay.
Couldn't tell you off top.
That no longer exists. And the last pillar is battling. We love the excitement. And I love the sparring and the music you get. Mm-hmm. But in this day and age, it's so much negative stuff that comes with it that you almost wish it didn't happen.
Really?
Yeah, because it's almost like it's a final thing. Now people that like Kendrick hate Drake.
Yeah.
No matter what he makes. No matter what he says, and it goes far too. It's like attack on his character and his thing, and it's like, I don't know if I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's helpful to our growth. Where the fallout lands, especially on on social media, which takes place every day.
Yeah.
And now you have these pods of cult.
The Stan armies fighting.
Yeah, and it's like it's too far.
Yeah.
It's like bringing kids in it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't like that. Maybe I've grown in a space that is probably, I sound like the old guy wagging the finger. But I think we can achieve the same thing as far as like sparring with music, with collaborations more so than breaking the whole thing apart.
Yeah.
It could stand it before because there was no social media and there was no thing. And, you had the battle and it was fun and then you moved on.
Right.
Right now, I don't know if it could stand it with the technology that we have.
Because it takes up so much oxygen.
It takes up so much oxygen.
Yeah.
And now it's just like every day they're just trying
they're
to
still talking about it.
It's not just talking about it. Not like, yo, this song, I like this.
Yeah.
No, it's like trying to tear down the people's life.
Yeah.
It's like trying to, wreck this guy's marriage or this guy's relationship with his child. And it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's worth it at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Again, I love the idea that we got so much music in such a short period of time.
Great music.
Just everything around it was just like, man, it's like taking us a couple steps back.
Yeah.
And we just grown so much that I don't know if, I guess I'm gonna say it, I don't know if battling needs to be part of the culture anymore.
The thing about Jay-Z is really great at making his.
I personally never cared for the battles. I never cared for the battles. Let me know if y'all liked the battles when they was doing that whole battle thing. I never cared for them. At the end of the day, some people gonna like this artist, some people gonna like that artist. And a battle, like I've been in battles myself. They were beat battles, but still battles nonetheless. And usually, like, the person who wins is the person that, if they bring enough of their posse, of their crew to the battle, and then they just say, hey, when my stuff come on, make sure all of y'all start going crazy, start cheering, start clapping, start hollering, all that. If you get enough people to just give you all that praise right then and there, you're going to win. Even if your stuff was worse than the other guy's stuff. That's just how it goes. So I don't care for battling. Like those battles, I don't care for them. But what do y'all think?
Own personal issues look like cultural issues. And then he utilized the culture to solve issues in his personal life, even if it doesn't benefit the culture. Like, for example, Tidal. Jay-Z.
Oh, Tidal. Do y'all use Tidal? I never used Tidal. There was no point to me. There was no point. Oh, we can get the full unencrypted waves. Nobody cares about listening to an unencrypted wave if you just got your music blasting in your AirPods, bro. And that's coming from an audio engineer of like 20 years. Nobody cares about MP3 versus wave if you're listening to it. Sure, sometimes if you're getting delivered files for a mix project, okay. I want the waves. I don't want MP3s. And really the main reason is because there's a little bit of silence in the beginning of MP3s. So you got to go in there and cut that out. But besides that, it pretty much sounds the same. And you can do, there's more flexibility with mixing with wave files rather than MP3s. But that was the only benefit that I saw to Tidal. And maybe there's more that I missed. I know some people that use Tidal and still do use it to this day. But just go to Apple Music or Spotify if you want a good streaming service. I use Spotify. But Tidal, there was no point in it. There was no point to me.
Wanted to line up his pockets. Jay-Z needed investors to come in. Jay-Z needed to build something and to work up this business that was, for the most part, destitute. Like, Tidal was a company that really was not competitive with other streaming platforms. So you know what Jay-Z did? He made his problem, which is this Tidal thing that is not really performing or going up, he made it a cultural issue.
Hold on. I gotta say this. Flacco, bro. What's with the lack of symmetry going on right here, man? Is this enhancements and you wiped it off, bro? What's going on, bro? All right, that was it. Much love to Flacco.
This thing Tidal is for black people. We're gonna bring in our black creators and we're gonna pay them more than anybody else. We're gonna give them equity because this is for us and by us. And then black folks rally around Jay-Z, the culture rallied around Jay-Z. Artists like Rihanna and Nicki Minaj signed up to exclusive deals with Tidal because they were getting equity. Man, Jay-Z ran up Tidal, man, sold it for like $300 million and ain't give them a goddamn thing.
Wait, I didn't. Jay-Z sold Tidal? Flacco with the grade A still shots, bro. But Jay-Z sold Tidal? I did not know Jay-Z sold Tidal. See, look, that's straight up capitalist activity. Capitalist activity. If he wanted it to be for the black people and pay the black people more, he should have expected that maybe it wouldn't get as much money as all of these other streaming platforms in the beginning. And maybe it would take some time. That's how you build things. That's how you make change. If he was really for that, he would have kept going. But he said, oh, snap. Okay. Who trying to buy it? And he sold it. That's crazy. I did not know that he sold Tidal.
Same thing here. Jay-Z is upset because Drake stands. OVO stands have been really vocal and really loud in their critique against Jay-Z because they feel like Jay-Z took the side of Kendrick Lamar. They feel like Jay-Z has been doing some underhanded things. Now, they wouldn't be wrong when they say that Jay-Z picked the side because, like Jay-Z liked Kendrick Lamar more. For whatever reason, he likes Kendrick Lamar more. Jay-Z obviously picked a side in this battle because, his friend, Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, he said publicly that when he wrote a positive article about Drake, Jay-Z contacted him to let him know why that article is incorrect and shouldn't exist and how Drake and this and it. So Jay-Z obviously picked a side. You think if somebody writes a positive article about Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z is contacting them to dispute the positive article? No. So Jay-Z will make it seem as if, oh, he's neutral. Oh my God, this is sad. No, the only sad part about it is that a large percentage of hip hop fans who just happen to be Drake fans have turned against Jay-Z, have turned against Roc Nation. And they're very public and very vocal about it, very loud about it. Jay-Z would even admit to such a little later in his interview.
Interesting.
I hate that I have this point of view. I do, because I know what it sounds like. I know what it feels like. I hate it. It's just how I feel about
Well,
it.
it even kind of extended to you, right? Because people made it a personal thing that you chose Kendrick for the Super Bowl. It's like, oh man, he's choosing the side and he's and he's not.
Like I don't have what do I have to do with that? I chose the guy that was having a monster year. I think it was the right choice.
Word.
It wasn't in some sort of alliance to a battle. I don't.
Yeah.
What I care about them two guys battling, like what's that got to do with me?
Word.
Have at it. Have fun. It's almost like not just me. By the way, they drag everybody.
But I must say, okay, now that he's mentioning battling again, maybe he wasn't talking about like the battle ages back in like COVID times. Maybe he's talking about just having rap beef. And rap beef is cool or whatever. I don't really have much of a say on rap beef. If you want to rap beef or whatever, because a lot of rap beefs are made like in tandem with both people just so they could both get clout, and they discuss it before they even get into the beef. So I don't be believing a lot of rap beef. Some rap beefs, usually by the YNs, those are real, but I don't believe most of them. But okay, just to clear it up, maybe that's what he's talking about. So maybe I was wrong on what I said earlier. Maybe. I still stand by it.
And it, like everyone's part of this conspiracy to undermine Drake, I guess. But
Yeah.
like, what the like what? I'm Jay-Z. or do respect to him. Oh, do respectfully.
Word.
Like for what? To what end?
Yeah.
It couldn't be that these guys just don't like each other.
Yeah.
And I think they haven't liked each other for a long time.
Before you had anything to do with it.
For a while.
Yeah.
I think this has been brewing, just like me and Nas was brewing.
Yeah.
It didn't happen at the Summer Jam. That happened at Lexington TV sets, the minimum, whatever. It was a whole bunch of stuff leading up to that point.
Myth Fleek, what is the Myth Fleek slugs in your hat, right?
It was slugs in your hand. It was a bunch of like little things that led up to that point. And then when it happened, I actually regret that because I really like Nas. He's a really nice guy.
Other people like Joe Budden and others had an issue with what Jay-Z has to say about in terms of battle not being no longer part of the culture, or we should move past battling. They had an issue with it. A lot of people did. Now, what I'll say is I don't completely disagree with him, right? I don't feel like particularly that Jay-Z is the root behind this, but nobody thinks Jay-Z is the root behind the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef. But what's very clear is Jay-Z picked a side. Now, do I feel like, him telling Kendrick Lamar to perform was him picking yes, it was him picking a side, but was it a wrong decision? No, Kendrick Lamar deserved to perform at the Super Bowl. He deserves it. He had the biggest and best year of any rapper or artist that year. So he deserves it. Yeah. I 100% agree. Either him or Wayne, but Kendrick Lamar deserves it. But somebody could still deserve it.
Not Wayne over Kendrick Lamar. No, not Wayne over Kendrick Lamar. Respect to Wayne, but not Wayne over Kendrick Lamar. No.
Deserve it, and you can still be doing the right thing while also picking sides. And we know from people like Michael Eric Dyson and others in the industry, Jay-Z has been very anti-Drake. Giving calls or texts or contacting people because they talking positive about Drake is crazy. But let me know in the comment section, what was your reaction to this interview? I particularly watched this interview from front and back.
Yeah. Okay. So what it looks like is that, I mean, what I got from this interview and video was it just kind of exposed a lot of how Jay-Z is capitalist, because I mean that's what they started with too, and apparently a lot of people are saying that, and he's being kind of swayed by the money and the money flow and things like that, which is capitalism. And I'm not fond of capitalism at all. I think it's ruining the country and ruining the planet because it's the love of money. But it just looks like this interview was kind of made just to kind of make people think that he's not doing that and he's more for the culture and this and that and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, just like how a lot of these billionaires do and a lot of the people with all the power at the top, they just don't really care. They don't care about anybody. And, I can say that it doesn't benefit any of us that are not in that position. I can say that it harms many people. But can I say that it's right or wrong? I'm not the determiner of that. So, I mean, I don't see it really. Also I could say I don't see how this interview counts as a comeback for Jay-Z or something like that. Because when I saw like the title of this video and stuff like that, I was thinking like, okay, so he put out an interview trying to come back and start rapping again, even though he retired like 37 times so far, but kept coming back. So maybe he's trying to come back again. Maybe he's like, oh, I'm gonna rap some more. But it looks like this is more him trying to like fix his image or something like that. And I don't know, if I was Jay-Z, I would just stop doing music. I mean, I probably wouldn't stop doing music. I'd probably just release stuff here and there. Wouldn't even put a big press about it or whatever. Just put it out there. If I feel like putting music out there, I'll put it out there. I'm rich. Who cares who listens? I would probably just approach it that way. Excuse me. And then I would just stick to just getting money the way I be doing. Just getting money. I wouldn't necessarily put anybody down or ruin anybody. And I'm not saying that Jay-Z is doing that. I don't know. I can only assume. But I would just do it that way. But this wasn't even that. This wasn't even a, oh, Jay-Z's coming back. He about to drop out. This is like a Jay-Z's not hated anymore. I didn't even think he was hated by the people. It's just he's on that capitalistic wave and I don't care for it. And you know, I don't know, I can't name any specifics, but you know, his wife Beyonce, I've heard some stuff about her being on that same type of wave too. I've heard a lot of crazy stuff about them that are allegations. I don't know if it's true, but I can only assume that it is true just because of the category of people that they now find themselves in. And that's a real thing. And maybe I'm feeling a little stronger about it because I was talking about some like political stuff going on right nowadays. And it just kind of got me a little heated about what's going on in the world right now. So if they happen to be contributing to that, or even just behaving akin to those people, that upsets me and I don't approve. But you know, I don't have any concrete clear proof on what they're doing. I just see it from the outside looking in, so I can't really formulate that much of an opinion about it. But yeah, if this was like a interview trying to make a comeback for Jay-Z, I really don't see what it did. And it did seem scripted to me. And also, if it indeed was scripted, I will believe it, because a lot of that interview that we just saw here together, it just sounded like a bunch of just filler words. I'm glad that he brought up how politicians mastered this art, because it did seem like a politician's approach to almost anything. Go out there and say a bunch of key words, bring up, you know, culture, stuff like that, words like that, and just say a bunch of things that every word here and there, it resonates with the person listening. And then at the end of it, they don't even know what they heard, but they think they heard something good. So now they good. They on your team. It just sounded like that, because a good chunk of that interview, I was sitting there like thinking to myself, maybe I'm stupid and I don't understand. And if I don't, help me out. But I was thinking, what are they even talking about? What is this even about? So that's my piece on it. Let me know what y'all think, because it seemed like this didn't work. And whatever comeback he's trying to do, this didn't buy me. Maybe it bought you. Maybe it convinced you, I'll say. So let me know. Do you think this is going to make a good comeback for Jay-Z? Or do you think this was kind of just a politician approach, waste of time? And you still feel the way, whatever you felt, if you felt anything about Jay-Z at this point. Like, I don't know. Well, let me know what y'all think, man. And we going to kick it in the next one. Peace out, y'all.